As you exhale a cloud, you notice a nip in the air. Snow falls on the mountainsides. Winter is upon us here in Cascadia. Welcome to Cascadia Hockey. My name is Corey Gaston. We are brought to you by Buried Puck Threads. With me, as always, ready to talk some hockey, founder, misanthrope, televangelist, Aaron Piper.
You know, it is a bit nipply out
I'm just
going to
add to the legend every fucking intro. Well, sitting across from me in the goalie crease, driver of the Zamboni, streamer of the Twitchels.
Twitchels.
Not Mark Twitchell for those of you Canadian listeners. One Mr. Kyle Houts.
You know, I was going to ask if I could roll for perception on the on that little intro you had there. I was like, do I see anything on the ground? Are there any traps?
No, man. Just open motherfucking ice. It finally feels like winter around here. And
Polar Vortex Part 2 has hit the West Coast.
It just, dude, but it puts me in the mood, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, we were talking about it before you walked into the cafe this morning, and we were just like, you know, it's cold out, but I'm digging it. Like, I like the sight. I love it. Like,
been waiting for this, and then it's going to last all of February. Here we go, old man weather talk. It's going to last all of February, and then March it'll just be 70 degrees one day, and it'll be over, and I'll shed a tear.
Yeah, dude.
I'll be sad.
I guarantee if I call my grandparents right now, this is the same conversation.
No, man,
and I'm okay with it.
I gotta tell you, dude. Like, I didn't watch the popular episode of football that took place this weekend.
Yeah,
but I did see the Game
draft?
of Thrones trailer.
Oh, nice.
The Game of Thrones dropped, and I'm like, I am of the fucking North.
Feels like
I did not watch. I did watch a little bit of the end of the game just because, talking another sport, Tom Brady he's a machine. I mean, that guy's the GOAT. I don't care what anybody, and I don't like the Patriots. I don't have any cheering interest in that team whatsoever.
Is he the coach? I'm kidding.
Yeah. Well, and then Bill Belichick, in my opinion, is the greatest coach of all time.
All I know about that guy is Cartman's impression of him on it's Bill Belichick.
Think about that, though. 17 years since they went to their first Super Bowl 17 years ago, under the Brady era, they've been to 9 Super Bowls. They've been to more than they've missed. I mean, that's just incredible. That's like the Islanders winning 4 straight in the early 80s, Edmonton winning, 3 of 4. Just doesn't happen anymore, man.
No.
So, congrats. I know the Bruins, Carlo was stick tapping last night. Who's the guy? Edelman is the receiver for the Bruins, and he dropped the puck last night at the game, and he freaking spiked it on the ice. And I saw a picture of Carlo on the bench stick tapping him. So, Boston, awesome. New England, great sports towns. They love their teams.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I think it's great. I think it's awesome.
Our connection to it is Snow's brother that passed away a few years ago.
Yeah.
His name is Pat.
Okay.
And he was a Pats fan.
Nice.
You know, he was diehard, man. But I mean, starting with the Drew Bledsoe years.
Oh, wow.
And so he was just obsessed with it.
I saw that too.
What just happened?
And then the light came on.
Oh. Did you know Katie tried to summon a demon up here?
Oh, dear God.
Like with blood and everything? Like straight
seriously?
Up black magic? And
she failed.
Yeah, no,
now it's in limbo.
I think she summoned a tweaker demon that tried to sleep up here. That's a story for another time.
That is a story for another time, but I will have to say, I don't know how that guy could have been comfortable up here because it is fucking colder than a witch's titty up here.
I'm wearing exactly...
Hey, I'm married to a witch, and her titties are warm. She's going to fucking kill me for saying that.
I'm wearing exactly what I was wearing outside.
That's true.
Right now.
I took my coat off, and Kyle's like, fuck that shit, man. Every layer stays on. It's like 20 outside right now.
Oh, man. So we've had kind of an interesting couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We had to miss last week due to my wonderful luck continuing, and I got brought down by the mega flu.
Flu hit hard.
Oh, man, dude. I had a fever. I was, like, throwing up. I couldn't keep anything down. Like, I was just miserable laying in bed watching marathons of shitty movies. Yeah. And, like, Friday, I woke up Friday morning, and I just coughed. And whatever I coughed out flipped me off and ran away. Like, it was gnarly, dude.
Weird.
It was...
It's just like,
yeah, but that was the sickness, man. It just left, and I was like, oh, there it went. I feel better.
I'm cured.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, it's been a couple. Well, and then Kyle and I didn't convene because I had some clients that were up my ass, and Kyle had some schoolwork, and we're just like, we'll take the week off. Not a big deal. Because we took, 6 off before that, 6 or 7
That's
weeks.
all. We're
Ain't no
consummate fucking professionals.
Yes, we are.
Yes,
we are.
In my other podcasts that I do, we just call it like the season break. Like when we start back
How
up,
many
we're like, all right,
seasons are
season 2,
there?
here we go.
Yeah. We do that with AU Radio.
That's funny.
I think we're on to season 3 now.
I mean, it wasn't exactly planned, but we don't get paid for this, so it's not like an
exactly.
obligation or anything like that. If this was like our actual job, then
Right.
it
We do love you guys, and we thank all the people that listen, but it's like, well, if we don't get it, we don't get it. So some of us, all of us have real jobs. So.
life happens.
Yeah, life does happen.
Hey, I want to tease a project that I'm working on real quick.
Do we talk about it? Is that the one that we talked about?
No, this is a little bit different.
Okay.
So a guy by the name of Tony Noser is doing a documentary about the local music scene, and he talked to me. He's going to actually come on your radio tomorrow, and I went over and I was talking to Howie at Steadfast, the barber, and Howie was in a bunch of bands back in the day, and he and I get to talking, and we start going down rabbit holes, and our conversations are exactly the same. Every time I go in and get my head shaved, it's what schlocky B 70s grindhouse movie did you watch?
Yeah.
And, what classic garage bands are you listening to? So Howie and I are going to start a cast.
Nice.
It's going to be called Garage-a-Rama.
Nice.
And
I like it.
And it's just going to be old punk rock and horror talk. So
Nice.
if you want to be in on that.
Yeah, I'm down, man.
So
I'm down.
I
Let's
just wanted to tease that because I'll pitch it on the network when it's up and ready to go.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, you guys check out too. AU. Do you guys have a website dedicated to just the podcast, or is it mostly just social media right now?
So it's auradio.net is coming. It's not done yet. We own the domain name, but the website itself is being built. For now, you can catch links to us on advunderground.com.
Cool.
Or anywhere fine social media is found.
I like it. So check that out, guys, because there's some really cool stuff out there for everyone. So let's talk hockey. I think the big news for us.
Want to talk hockey? We finally got to watch a goddamn game together.
We did.
We all did.
That was
All
the
three of us.
greatest night, man. I had such a good time.
It was a fun game, too, man.
It
was a
was.
really fun game. The M's looked good. It's one of those. Kyle and I were talking this morning about the standings. There's going to be this whole Spokane Tri-City thing right down to the wire.
Yeah.
And it's exciting. I love
It
this
is.
time of
It's
year.
super fun, and especially with that rivalry being the back and forth.
Yeah.
Man, that's just, that
sells tickets.
yeah,
a lot
man.
of tickets.
Well, dude, I was blown away at the attendance.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was more there than I expected.
Official sellout that night for just a Saturday night game. You know?
but
So much so you had to move.
Yeah, well, no, that's what upset me was that there were other seats, but they wanted those
They
two.
had to be in their
I could
exact
tell
seats.
that lady was asking me often. She was like, "I don't mean to sound like an idiot, but
I heard you. I heard the conversation.
yeah." And she asked me.
I didn't
and it was
want to-
cool. I'm totally cool with that. Like if people want to learn about hockey, I'm more than happy to tell them. You know, but at the same time, I wanted to also say, you don't have to sit there. You can let me sit behind my friends, and then you can sit over here or something, or those seats or those. No, I was kidding. That's rude. But
Oh, dude, it just.
I didn't have a ticket to those seats, so
That's
whatever.
true.
Whatever.
Well,
anyway,
pretty much we can get in over there for video and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, but Kyle, there's a row behind us where we sit. We sit in PP. If anybody's ever at the Toyota Arena and wants to come see our ugly,
look over at
PP.
the PP.
Look at the PP.
Always
And you'll find us
Right
sitting,
at the top.
sitting right on top.
Right
This
on
is
top
a
of PP.
metaphor for our entire fucking existence. Where will you find Kyle, Aaron, and Corey?
PP.
Did you look for the dick joke? That's where they are. That's always there.
And we're giggling about it right now.
Yeah. That's just how
we
it
are
works.
12.
grown men who are really 12.
But man, so that was the first game I got to just chill in a long time.
First regular season.
Yeah.
You got a preseason game this year, right?
Yeah, but I took my kids, so
yeah. Yeah.
the boys, I have to entertain them the whole time.
There's no chill factor with that.
No, but
Which is understandable.
Had a beer, had some mega poutine, which if that isn't the most American fucking thing I've ever heard, take a Canadian dish and call it mega.
Yeah,
Oh
with
my
a half
God.
a pounded tri-tip on it. That's good, man. I before I got the Beatus, man, I used to make that at home quite a bit. That exact dish,
Dude, I had-
hand-cut fries, homemade gravy. Do my own tri-tip in the oven, man, and that's one of the things I miss being on the Beatus spectrum now.
So I mean, that was as I'm kicking the diet in, like I had to blow it out. Like, and I did.
Hey,
oh my God!
everybody needs a cheat day. I've had I don't know how many doctors and nurses tell me that on this whole journey. Everybody needs a cheat day.
Oh yeah,
so
even The Rock.
absolutely. So, yeah, that was fun. We're gonna do more of that. Don't forget March 9th. We're gonna do our tailgate.
Yep,
So
I got it in the calendar already.
Cool.
So
Got about a month for that. That'll be fun. And then WHL news: the Kootenay Ice are packing up shop and they are moving to Winnipeg.
I love this.
So I
hate it in the fact that I'm sad that Cranbrook is losing hockey. I don't want to see anybody lose a team.
Yeah,
but when your attendance is
And they've tried.
hurting,
That team
yeah.
for the last 2 years has been under new ownership, and the new owners from the very start said, look, you guys want to keep this team, this is how many tickets we need to sell on a nightly basis. And they've never reached it.
yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It does because their logo is so fucking good.
Oh, I love the Ice, man.
Oh,
I do.
I think they have the nicest jerseys and logo.
Them are Red
I
Deer.
still swear
I like
to
the
God,
Rebels.
I love the Red Deer's logo and jerseys. Those are great.
I thought Kootenay Ice was an offshoot of Kokanee when I first started, so I'm not gonna lie.
No, you're not wrong. Because the old logo looked like an old
looked
beer
like a
can
beer
logo.
can
label.
logo.
It
Oh,
really
yeah.
did.
Oh,
It
I know what
looked
you're- that's
like.
right.
Yeah, it looked terrible.
But see, that was the other thing. The new ownership came in, rebranded the team.
They looked at that logo first and they were like, "What in the hell?
What did
is
we
this?
buy? This is what we bought? We own this. We
this
can
is-
change this.
Wait, this is a hockey team? I thought we were buying a brewing company.
Dude, it would have been a
This is a
great
brew-
beer league
Shit.
team. It would have been honestly, dude. You should play for the Tri-City Natty Ice. Like I'm just saying.
It still have a better logo than the old Kootenay logo. Fuck.
Yeah, for real.
But
But
like,
no, it's sad that they're moving, but I think it's going to be a good thing to keep that 30 or 22nd franchise around.
yeah, no,
Winnipeg
I
will
mean,
support it.
but that now makes Winnipeg the team that's the furthest east now
Yep.
because
I
they're
know.
further east than Brandon.
Yeah, they're like 2 or 3 hours.
It's almost
further east than
Ontario.
Brandon. Yeah.
That's almost Ontario. So.
And that's like the furthest of Manitoba, which is the furthest you can go in the Western Hockey League. So you're almost at the OHL at that point.
Yeah.
So is
Yep.
Winnipeg going to keep them the Ice, or are they going to change the name?
So
I think
far,
they're
everybody's
keeping it,
calling.
yeah.
Well, they're keeping the same ownership, same GM, and all that stuff. So I don't
Okay.
think they'll change. It'll just be the Winnipeg Ice. They're playing in a 1,400 seat arena next year, some college, while they're waiting for some new arena. 1,400 seats. They've already sold 1,000 season tickets.
Well, and you can't fuck around with that.
A lot of people said, "Will this team be able to survive if they move to Winnipeg with all the other hockey?" I mean, Winnipeg's got NHL, AHL, now WHL. Will they be able to survive? It didn't take them very long to hit 1,000 season tickets.
But I mean, you look at places that have a really saturated hockey market, and they spread it out. So you've got. I mean, well, you spread it out, but I mean, is the Moose still playing? Is the Moose-
Manitoba, yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
They play the same place as the Jets, correct? But there's a lot of people who just don't make that trek. But
Yeah.
if you put a team in their neighborhood, yeah, they're gonna fucking go. 'Cause
Right.
It's just a couple blocks down. Like,
Right.
I mean,
Well,
you see it in Vancouver. It was kind of the same story, and
And they moved buildings, right?
Yeah.
The Giants moved buildings.
So the thing that I take from that, especially in a saturated market, is you have the guys that are the NHL fans, right? And
Absolutely.
that's what they do.
Oh, yeah.
That's their thing, right? But then it's like the dude walking around wearing a baseball cap for the fucking Aqua Sox.
Yeah.
At that point, you begin to root for a team that's just not the team everybody else roots for, but are still local enough that you can
Right.
support it.
Right.
Like, I think that happens quite a bit because, like,
You
know,
love the sport,
Right.
And you want something that's more affordable,
but 20 Jets fans that are dickheads, so you don't want to be associated with those fucks.
Absolutely.
I'm going to hang out over here and be an Ice fan, and they've got the dope jersey. So, I mean,
Yep.
they're already like along with the color scheme
yeah.
because the Moose have the same
Oh
colors.
yeah,
right?
that's right. That kind of
Yeah.
blue and white and
Yep.
different shades of blue and all. Yeah, that's perfect. It's
Yeah.
perfect. They don't have to change anything for that. So
I just think that comes into play more than,
Sure.
like you just want to root for something else.
You could go to those games in a Jets jersey and blend in with the crowd.
Oh, absolutely. So I mean, good for Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm.
Sucks for Cranbrook. Sorry you guys couldn't keep the team around, but You're right, though. I think the AMS or the U.S. division goes on. No, they went on the Eastern trip this year to Brandon and all that stuff.
Yep.
So
So
they've got 2 more years till they have to go to Winnipeg. Yep. They'll be coming here next year. But yeah, it's interesting, man, because I was looking. I think we talked about this earlier in the year. The WHL has been very stable for a while. Like, teams haven't moved. Yeah. There hasn't been anybody. I think Victoria is the newest team in the league, and they've been around for like 8 years. 2011, I think, was their first year. So, which is cool because early on, WHL teams changed hands all the time. They were constantly moving. Even the Tri-City Americans came out of, what were they before, the Chilliwack Bruins, I believe, and then they came here. But anyway, so that's your WHL news for the day. This was a cool story. The All-Star game happened while we took our season break, as we call it. And, it's the All-Star game. You got your skills competition, 3-on-3. I believe the Metro won, and Sidney Crosby was MVP, if I remember right. I don't remember. We were at the game last week. But anyway, I thought this was a cool story that came out of it. Kendall Coyne Schofield. She's I'm going to get this wrong. Team Canada or Team USA women's player? I forget. I think she's Canada. No, she's USA.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's Team USA. Nathan McKinnon gets hurt before the All-Star game and says, well, why don't we give this spot to Kendall? Let her be a part of the competition and everything. And she came out, fastest skater. She was like really high up there, like 4th or 5th or something like that.
I'm trying to look right now.
Oh, cool. Kyle's pulling the numbers up on that. But anyway, she was right there with the dudes, hanging out with the men. I don't think she actually won, or maybe she did win an event, but one of the arguments was, well, she's not actually an NHL player, so she can't get paid because all these guys get paid for winning. And then I believe CCM came out and gave her like $25,000 for winning that event. Yeah, they said we'll pay her because we think she should get paid. This is an underlying story that you guys are going to be seeing a lot of, not this one specifically, but women's hockey.
Yes, and that's actually something we've discussed.
Yes.
It's going to become more apparent on the show.
That's the future of the game. That's the future of the game. We have somebody we're working with right now who's actually highly involved with women's hockey here in Washington State that we're going to try to get on the show on a more regular basis. But I just think it's great, man. I saw her out there. She was doing the fastest skater competition, and she hung right in there. Connor McJesus won it again. So, that's like 3rd year in a row. The guy's he's phenomenal on skates. But I think it's really cool. I thought that was the story of the weekend, kind of like John Scott a few years ago.
Yeah.
Came in, was kind of an quote unquote outsider, really shouldn't have been at the All-Star game per se.
Yeah.
Per se. But then Kendall, who, not an NHL player, but comes in there and hangs right with the boys.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. So big shout out to her.
And I've seen top tier women's hockey, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
It is a lot of fun to watch.
These girls, not even girls, these women can hang with the boys quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see some like preseason things.
And I'm willing to bet half the Fortnite addiction.
Yeah, right? Yeah, because they have to work real jobs and they have to, take care of kids and stuff like that. I mean, some of these women's players are in their, mid-30s and stuff, and they've never been able just to call hockey their career.
Dude, it's, what's that, episode 8 or episode 9 of Hockey of People's History?
Yeah.
Is dedicated to women's hockey. Yeah. And it's that is one of the coolest stories.
I think it's great, and it's going to be the future. And I really think NHL to Seattle, there's a big women's league. I believe it's the Washington Wild is what it's called, WWFA or something like that. I don't know, but anyway, on the west side, they're already doing a lot of stuff, and with the NHL coming in and all the new sheets of ice going in over there, it's just going to continue to grow. And I think it's great. Yeah, I think it's great.
And we're just a short rock throw away from it. I'm excited.
We can hop on a plane and be there in 25 minutes. So, and those
you can hop on a plane. I can drive. I'll be there.
That's right. You don't like those little planes.
No. I'm fat, man. I'll fall out of the ground hard.
The happiest I've ever been in my life was when I got on the plane coming home from being over there. So, so that was a cool story. This is kind of an obscure one that I found, and I didn't really talk to the boys before we started today about it, but this one caught my eye because with Buried Puck Threads, what I'm trying to do is create something that's more of the old school hockey, the more vintage feel, where the game got its roots. And there was a story that The Athletic had done, and they were talking about there's a lot of technology out there now that's tracking analytics and tracking player performances, and you've got all these obscure things that a coach, GM, whatever can really look at, but it's based on computer numbers and everything like that. They interviewed Bruce Cassidy, the coach of the Bruins, and he's like, yeah, that stuff's cool, but I keep a notepad in my back pocket. I take notes about every game, and I keep them in a filing cabinet. And I think he said he goes back 1 or 2 seasons in that filing cabinet. And he just talks about tendencies of players. He talks about chances, because he said when he first started in the league, a lot of what he looked at was shots on goal. So if you get outshot 40-20 in a game, that's a terrible game. But he started to realize just because the other team had 40 shots on goal, they might have only had 10 quality chances. Mm-hmm. So he's writing all this stuff and these tendencies down. I thought that was kind of cool. And he did make the comment, he's like, if analytics can become more user-friendly, I'm not opposed to using it, but for now, the pen and the pad works for me.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? I think it's cool.
Yeah. No,
that there's still guys, and Cassidy's not an old guy by any means. No, he's in like his 40s, and he's still doing it the old school way.
So, did you have something?
Not really. I mean, I was thinking
what do you guys think about that?
I mean, I was thinking about it, and it was like, I don't know. I've never really been into like the analytics and really the numbers of hockey.
I still don't understand Corsi numbers. I have no fucking clue what the Corsi numbers has to do with.
So that's new to me.
You've heard of it, right?
No.
Oh.
It's too fucking baseball.
No, that's cool just, because I've heard of it, but I don't know
exactly.
Like fucking what?
Like
fucking
the
baseball.
guy, when you go to a baseball game, there's a guy with a notepad, and he's just kind of like, writing everything down. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Just fucking, just watch the game, enjoy it. Like, I mean, but okay, so that's how some people enjoy the game. That's fair. But like,
to each our own.
I don't see that being. That's what I do when I go to. That's not how I enjoy this.
No.
That's not how I take in sports.
Because I watch so much hockey, I know what a lot of these players are doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And what their tendencies are. And a lot of them I know what their numbers are. But I'm with you, man. Numbers are – then this is what Cassidy was talking about. Numbers are out the gate whenever you're in a game. Because
just you know how much players give a shit about that?
Oh, I know. And the ones that say I really don't pay attention, they really don't.
Yeah.
I truly believe that.
Yeah.
They know when milestones are coming up and stuff like that. The ones that say, oh, I didn't even know I was about to reach 1,000 games. Bullshit. You know you're about to reach 1,000 games. But they don't care.
Yeah.
They just play the fucking game.
Yeah, it's not. It's to me that's not.
Why are we talking about that kind of stuff? Like, why is it that? I don't know.
Does it matter?
I'm also the person that doesn't watch like pre and post game interviews.
Right.
I just don't. Like, why? It's the same shit every fucking game.
We were out there today, and the guys on the second line, they did really good, but the first line, they fucked us. They fucked us hard.
Get puck, Steve. Get pucks to the net.
Get pucks to the net.
The other team played better. There's not as much dump and chase.
I don't know what thing I like. The only post game stuff I like is post championship celebrations, like when the cup's raised. I love that sort of stuff because numbers are out the door. Nobody cares about numbers.
You know why?
At that point.
Is because they don't give you the same like bullshit. You get a little more of the unfiltered.
Right.
You get a little more of the
you get a little more his dad.
Yeah, you get a little more of the emotions. You get a little more of like you get the swear words, you get like the like oh my god, what was it? I think Ovi said something. Was it Ovi or was it who was it? Somebody said something.
Was it at the game or was it at the parade?
I think it was at the parade.
Yeah, it was Ovi.
Yeah.
We no fucking suck no more.
Yeah. something like that. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I love.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
You know, and guys like fucking like god damn it, I'm gonna put this name on my tongue and it's gonna taste dirty. Milbury. He hates that kind of shit. He's just like, nope, show up in a suit and tie, shave your fucking face, play the game, go home.
Milbury.
Shave your fucking face.
Fuck that guy. So goddamn much.
Fuck up. I had not liked him for the longest time, and he did it in for me a few years ago when he was giving PK Subban shit for dancing in warm-ups.
Fucking that guy so much.
Really?
Fuck that guy so much.
It's a conversation I saw you had the other day with somebody talking about the hurricane celebration. And somebody on there was like, I hate it. It's not really part of the game. And everybody, you included, but everybody else is like, yeah, because in the NHL, we're not allowed to have fun. In hockey, we're not allowed to have fun. We have to be like the old white guys in their suits and listen to what they say all the time. We can't do anything new. You know?
So, yeah, I was... And I wasn't so much trying to argue it. I was just trying to show them a different point. Which is a fucking dumb thing to do on the internet, but... I was trying to say, hey, look,
how many
I don't like crowds.
The scales fell off.
I don't like crowds in the U.S. because it's fucking boring.
You had a lot of people that agreed with you on that point as well.
I said it, and I fucking didn't look at it again.
Dude, you know who taught me that? Was No Effects.
What?
NoFX did a
it's concerts, hockey games, sports events, anything.
Yep.
U.S. crowds are fucking boring.
Yeah.
dude. NoFX said the same thing. They said they were talking about touring, and that they looked out at the crowd and it just looked like the exact same people no matter where they went.
Yeah.
They were doing the exact same things.
Yep.
And so they went on tour to like places they'd never sold a record.
And
Yeah,
the
why
place
not?
was going bonkers.
Yeah, and they have a blast.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
I know some people who have said their tours in Europe are much more fun.
yeah.
A lot of the bands that I follow, and some that I know the guys in the band, they always look forward to those European tours. Because they're shorter and you usually have a better experience across the board.
So I used to go to
you're playing
games-
12 dates and you're loving life, whereas you come to the U.S., you do a 50-date tour,
And it's a
and you're just
grind.
burned the
It's a snooze
fuck
fest.
out.
It's a snooze fest
Yep.
too. Like
Yep.
the crowds are just, I don't know what it is about us, but like, so when I was, you go to an NHL game and you sit and you watch the game. Most of the time, you're pretty quiet.
Oh, yeah.
You're chatting with your friends. You're having a beer, or whatever. Somebody scores, you lose your shit.
Yep.
And then you go back to sitting down and
Yep.
watching the game again. So I used to live in Wiesbaden, Germany, and I would go to the Leuven Frankfurt games.
Gesundheit.
Do you need a tissue?
Yeah. But let me say this: like those games were fucking nutty.
Yeah.
and I loved it. So you've seen like big like football, soccer matches like
Yeah.
on TV. There's always like that crowd of nutcases.
Oh, yeah.
behind that one goal.
Like thousands of nutcases, though.
Same shit in
Yeah.
Germany with hockey.
Yeah. I
Same
believe
thing.
it.
You have like banners. You've got like fireworks, and everybody's holding sparklers before the players come out on the ice, and it's a really awesome atmosphere. And the entire game, if you are in that fan zone or whatever, that like behind the net thing, like they're jumping, they're singing, like there's chants. You got to like by the time I left Germany, I knew all of Frankfurt's like chants.
Nice.
I didn't know what they meant, but I was like, doing the cadence along with it, and yeah. Who knows what crazy shit I was saying?
You're just chanting, I have a jelly
You guys
donut.
are actually summoning the ghost of Hitler at this point, and you're just like, I'm along for the ride.
Yeah. No, my buddy Patrick Sell, he would translate a lot of them for me, and yeah, it was a blast, and I loved it. You would always leave those games like
Feeling like you left it all in the stands.
Yeah, and even if you didn't want to go to the standing only area, you could go sit somewhere, be away from that chaos.
You've
and
hit
be totally
the
cool.
nail on the head. You've fucking knocked it out of the park. We need to bring
Wrong
back.
sport. We don't talk baseball.
We need to.
You upper 90'd it. You upper 90'd that snipe shot.
I'm up where Granddad keeps the bourbon bottle.
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
I
I
don't
got you
know.
off your thought process there. I'm sorry.
Hooliganism.
Yeah.
We need motherfucking hockey hooligans.
So Castle.
That is hashtag hockey hooligans. That's the next buried
That
buck.
should be a
like
shirt.
it.
That should be a
I
shirt.
like it.
Hockey
I like
hooligan. Hockey hooligan.
If you're listening to this and you steal that idea, I will fucking
Not
sue
trademark.
you. So
Fucking
it's
Buried puck thread.
We
I'll find
the,
you.
the intellectual property has just been put out there, so you can't have it.
If I see it, I'm gonna look at you and be like, "That's mine." That's
Start-
mine. That's,
start
that's
it
Aaron's.
going.
That's
Start it
Corey's.
going.
Anyway, it's a hashtag. Anyway, so I lost my train of thought.
This
Oh,
is
man.
we're off the
yeah.
rails,
So
buddy.
yeah. So also,
I gotta write this down.
this was a thing. Castle Huskies were Frankfurt's rivals, and anytime the rivals were in town, riot squads were escorting Castle fans to the arena. They had a sectioned off area where they could sit, and I don't remember, but I think there was like a netting or something that was separating everybody so that you couldn't throw shit at them.
Dude, yes.
awesome.
This- exactly.
Like-
you should feel like you're taking your life in your fucking hands. That's thrilling.
Yeah.
So like, and
Well,
if
I'm
you
going to
didn't-
the hockey game. I
Now-
might be home. I might not. See you later.
Now, for I'm sure some people that are only like people who have frequented American games or Canadian games are thinking that sounds dangerous. Then you go sit your happy ass on the other end of the ice, where all the old people are sitting, and even then they'll still be louder than you.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, like they take their shit serious over there, and it's
What's that born out of, though? Where did that come from? Where does
It's Europe. It's all of Europe, though. I don't
Why?
know.
Do you-
Well, I mean, you think
And then
about
I'm-
it. Europe's just centuries and centuries old, you know,
Yeah.
and they, you know, when, I think just the mentality over here is that we've got our own thing going. You know, this is how we do things.
Sure.
Because, you know, when sporting events first started, especially like the early days of hockey, you dressed up. When you went to the game, you dressed up.
Right.
And you had like your suit on, you had your little, you know, fedora
Yeah,
and all
but
that
people
shit.
used to dress up to take a fucking flight, too.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, because that was a luxury. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, same thing
Sure.
with hockey games, especially like during the 30s, during the Depression and shit. Like, that was a thing.
Right.
And that's when you could go see a game for a nickel. So...
There's a lot of
like
voices in this episode.
when I came back to these states after living in
this time.
even when I was in Asia, same thing. Like Asia wasn't nearly as rambunctious as Europe was, but
you know what though? It's historically speaking, if you want to look at the mentality difference, is this is a group of people in a space similar size to ours, but they have spent thousands of years kicking each other's ass and fucking each other. That's all they did. It's mine now. No, it's ours again. Like back and forth, right? That's what they've done. Yeah. And then we were like, and we left because we were too stuck up.
Yeah.
Puritans came over here because they couldn't handle it. They're like, no, not all of the fucking and fighting.
Yeah.
And they ran away to hide in the fucking woods.
We'll go to America and fucking fight the way we want to
see,
fucking fight.
and that's pretty much my thought.
Okay. No. And it's a good thought. I mean, you're talking about a region that's been around a lot longer than North America as far as the white man taking it over. But it's a good point. But I think that's something I struggle with all the time is how do we fucking change that culture?
Well, here's how.
What happened to the Spokane Sucks
here's how
chants? It used to happen at every freaking Americans game.
People get fucking offended.
Who fucking cares? I know, and that's not to you.
No, yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing is it's like people go there and they complain that the music's too loud and they complain that they don't like rock music being played and they want this and that. And it's like, good Christ. Yeah. So that's what happened is people are soft.
We can't take a fucking joke anymore. We can't take a fucking anything anymore.
No.
What happened to sport, man?
So and you were like, what do we do to do this to change this and you know revive it?
Yeah,
fucking just follow Carolina's example.
Carolina's doing it.
Carolina,
man, they
those guys are doing it right.
It wasn't that boring. Yep. Wasn't that a European player that started that, or was that Justin Williams?
I think it was Justin Williams that started it, but I think it's inspired from things. Like when I was in Europe, I would also go to Dusseldorf EG games. And that's top tier.
Mm-hmm.
Leuven Frankfurt was DEL2. They used to be DEL1, but they went out and then they came back as DEL3, and then they worked their way up to 2. But the DEL1, Dusseldorf versus Cologne, that was a fierce rivalry. So I loved those games. And after every victory, they would they did something at the end.
Sure.
And one time I watched the goalie do like a. He did like a end of slap shot kind of striptease, and he had confetti in his hand, and he did like a little jiggle, and he tossed confetti in the air. He did another little jiggle, and he tossed more confetti in the air, and then he took his chest protector off, and the crowd went fucking nuts. They loved it.
That's awesome.
And everybody stayed for it. Like nobody was like, I gotta beat traffic. I gotta be up at 7 a.m. to go to my fucking boring job. No, like everybody was fucking into it, and I loved it. I loved the spirit of European sporting events.
Yeah,
I loved it.
And you know, that's the other thing is the mentality. I love what you're talking about. I would love to watch something like that. But in it,
let's go to Europe, boys.
You brought up a very okay. Griff, hey, we're coming, Holmes.
He said, man, I'd love for you to fly me over there for the tailgate party on the 9th. And I'm like, yeah, if I sell a gazillion shirt, I might be able to afford a plane ticket for you. Cork to Pasco, $1,700.
Dude, I know some people coming back from a trip they can just smuggle him. It's fine. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. Here's the thing. The difference is people like to be out and experiencing something, except here.
Yep.
I have never
not just
met.
Tri-Cities here.
We've talked about this before, especially with our area too. So,
but
like,
it's a culture
everywhere.
of people who can't fucking wait to get home.
Right.
They just want to go home all the time. Nobody wants to be out. Nobody wants to be anywhere. And they all have to get in their car and leave as fast as possible so they can beat the guy behind them home.
I don't know what it
You're
is,
not even
though, but
going to the same fucking place.
people on G-Way drive fucking 15 under, and it drives me insane.
Oh, I want to.
And then you add snow to the mix. It's just like, holy shit.
There were 100 accidents that day.
I know.
100.
Literally.
I was sitting. I
not
live
making
right on
this up.
Swift. You know where I live.
Yeah.
I literally had the front blinds pulled back, just like I'm gonna watch the world burn with a cup of hot coffee.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
But,
ridiculous.
Yeah. But yeah, people like that gratification brought to them and spoon-fed to them.
Yeah, it's
Like, they want everyone to do everything for them these days.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
they want people to, like, look, people go to the games, the Americans games, and they get upset because, like, they're like, oh, the fan experience sucks. I was like, well, fucking do something about it.
That's you. I was just sitting here thinking about that because we've talked before.
Yeah.
The wife and I have talked before, and we're constantly saying, well, what can the team do to make it better? What can the in-arena experience do to make it better? And it's like,
fans need
fuck
to-
that shit.
Yep.
What can we do to make it better?
the fans need to make it
Ask
better.
not what your team can do for you, but what you can do for your team.
The boys,
There's the next shirt.
the Americans, the players
Hat trick.
themselves have said, like, yeah, it's. I mean, you see it in interviews. They love it when the
When the
Yoda,
Yoda
is
is bumping.
They
Yep.
love it.
Yep.
I mean, we were pulling like 1,200 people in there, fucking Friday.
Well, hey, last night though.
Last night was actually really good for attendance.
Well,
Like,
I know.
Last night was awesome.
Because we took my daughter's in driving school now. And we had to go to orientation with her last night, and I'm like, that sucks because I doubt there's gonna be many people at the game as it is. The roads are snowy and blah
Yeah.
blah blah. Nobody's gonna want to go. There was almost 3,000 people there last night
Awesome.
on a
Yep.
Tuesday night game in bad
Awesome.
weather. I see. I don't know what the exact numbers are, but I've seen an upward trend this year for the team, and I think it's awesome.
we are kind of on the up.
Yeah.
And
I've
I've been
looked
impressed.
At the numbers. It's 100% us.
Almost 3,000 on a Tuesday night. You
it's
remember
lo-
that picture I took that I showed you guys
Yeah.
about empty seat epidemic is
Yeah.
a problem? That was a Tuesday night game this season, early in the season.
Yeah.
So that's what I expected for last night, and that's not what we had.
No, it's 100% contributed to Cascadia Hockey Podcast.
Absolutely.
It's our fault.
Yes.
Now I'm not. And,
Sorry
yeah,
that
but
more
here's the thing.
tickets are selling.
Yeah. We will.
Jesus.
We accept. We accept and expect. Thank you in the form of cake and no, I'm kidding.
And jerseys.
Duke.
Jerseys.
Poutine. Free poutine.
But I'm not going to say that like people aren't going to Ams games. They're not being loud. That's not at all what I'm saying.
No.
Like,
I get what you're
They're
saying.
definitely like goals scored, tons of cowbells. I can't hear myself. Like Ams fans are being loud and they are bringing the noise, and
Yep.
I do love it when goals are being scored and Ams fans are being loud.
Yeah.
Hey, where
And
are we?
occasionally they do the let's go Ams chant. They do the the stomping and all that kind of stuff, and I love it.
Where are we at on getting a trombone guy in here?
Oh man, we gotta do
I
that.
haven't talked to Trombone Guy.
He
I don't even know who he is.
he went
We
off
can
a
find
couple
out for
times.
sure.
He went off a couple times last night. There was
Three.
Last night was
blind
bumpy.
mice,
there was
three.
there was
I love it when he does
it was a
that.
bumpy one last night. But
We do need
I
to
don't
make
know.
that
I
happen,
just-
though.
Yeah.
Ams fans are they're the ones that are showing up, being loud. That's awesome.
And
but
that group
we
is-
can do more.
But that group is starting to grow, I feel.
Yeah.
Man,
From what it's
we
been.
had the last game I went to, we had a wave. I haven't seen a wave actually come off in that place in 5 years.
I've seen a handful. I've seen a handful.
The in-host arena. Or in-host
We
arena.
had
Lord.
we
The
had two
in-arena
waves going
host.
once that went opposite directions.
Oh, cool.
The in-arena host does a pretty good job a few times, especially on those Saturday night
Yeah.
games when you have a lot of people there. They'll do it 3 or 4 times a year, and it usually works. The last 5 seasons I've been there quite a bit, and it usually works. But I mean, you're right. Stuff like that. If you want it to be better, grassroots it and make it fucking better. It's that simple.
Yep.
Have tailgate parties in the parking lot. You know what I mean?
When do we play Spokane next?
Next Saturday, the 16th.
We just need to get a Spokane Sucks chant going.
Yeah.
And this is what I was thinking of. Make the opposing fans want to come because they're so goddamn uncomfortable there, and they want to
They want to
in a
come.
good way. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Respectful.
They
We're
wanna-
going to be respectful.
They want to bring
of
that
fans.
we need to bring that rivalry back.
But the same way in their building, they should make opposing fans feel uncomfortable there.
You know what's funny about that is we sat next to.
Was 20, 25 Spokane fans.
It was easily 25 proctologists from Spokane.
and they were dicks.
Oh yeah, and that was our opportunity, and we let it slip.
Well, the guy behind them was doing a pretty good job of making them feel uncomfortable.
Oh yeah,
Trying to watch a fucking hockey game. Sit the fuck down, man. Come on.
give your balls a tug, tit fucker.
That's literally what the guy was saying the whole time. It was great. I think that's why I didn't jump on it, because I was laughing at that guy the whole time.
Oh, I was too. But every time they start chirping about something, I was like, I should say something. I want to fucking be like, hey, sit your old drunk ass down. Fuck Gary.
For real.
Now, I do have to say something. I'm gonna call someone out. I'm not gonna say his name. He is on my Facebook friends list. Yells at the referees all the time, and 90% of the time he's wrong. like there's a lot of times when something kind of questionable happens.
Yeah.
And he's like, come on, that's fucking okay. Like, he's like belligerently, like, I don't think he's swearing, but he's belligerently yelling at the referees for like a missed call that didn't exist. And it's half entertaining and it's half
super annoying.
Super annoying. And you can see like the people around him are just super uncomfortable. Like, and he'll go down like closer to the glass because he thinks the referees can hear him. And
or he thinks the referees give a shit about what he thinks.
Exactly. Yeah. And he'll just start yelling at them by their name, and he gets all pissed off and storms out, and then comes back like 5 minutes later. And if you're listening, tone it down, man. You'll look silly.
I used to be that guy. I really did. I was that
Now,
guy. And
and it's okay.
you and I have watched a couple games together, and I'll react out of
There's
emotion.
a style of chirping that you can do that I think is okay.
Yeah.
But when you're just like blaming the referees on every downfall the team has,
right?
Like, come on, man. Like, give the referees a little credit. They're also in the WHL.
Right.
They're also learning and coming up, and that's just how it is. Like, sometimes calls will be missed, and I can tell you from experience that they are noticed. Every missed call is noticed.
Yeah.
Every good call is noticed. Like
NFL.
Yeah. You just don't see the credit going either way in the public eye.
Right.
And I can't, I wasn't told I can't say anything, but I'm not going to say anything on it because
that's how it should be.
That's how it should be. They're officials. They're officials.
Absolutely.
The officials don't have to be transparent.
Yeah.
They do miss calls. They're human.
Absolutely.
It happens. But
NFL.
Yeah. Well, the NFL is a shit show, so we're talking about real sports.
Yes. Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah. Anyway, bring it. Basketball sucks. Football sucks. Fucking hit me up.
Whoa! Technical thing, but I was around to cut it off for
at Housenstein. Anyway.
No, you're absolutely right, though. You're absolutely right, and it affects. You know what? I believe it affects the player's psyche. My boy, who he tore his fucking ACL again.
It is.
He's done. Yeah.
Who?
My kid had a torn ACL. Rehabbed it and then tore it again, so he's probably done with football. But anyway, he was talking to me when he played for Richland, and Richland's a hated team around here. I mean, they really are. You're either a Richland fan or they're kind of like the Pats of the area. But one of the reasons was the Richland fans are brutal, calling out referees, blaming referees for everything, blah blah blah. And my kid told me, you know what, Dad, that affects the psyche of the players on the sideline because you start believing that it's the ref's fault that you're not playing well. And so you don't put the extra work into doing what needs to be done.
Yeah, absolutely.
And here's the thing. Richland, my kid played 3 years of varsity football. They lost 3 games out of 45 that they played. So they didn't lose a whole lot.
Yeah.
But we were complaining about the refs every goddamn game.
Yeah.
And it gets into your head.
You know what? That's that. It's a very Northwest thing.
Yeah.
It's that 12th man mentality.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
And I
got no problem with the Seahawks organization. It's the fans I got problems with.
That's why I don't like football.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I'm with you.
Fans are just idiots.
Yep.
And
can't stand it.
And
okay, now that's a broad statement.
Not every. No,
but some of them it ruins it for me.
There's some idiotic hockey fans
Dude,
too.
There are, but there are some. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
Yeah, it's
Steelers fans are the juggalos of the football world. Trust me, I know what you're saying.
I lived in Steelers land. I was about an hour out of Pittsburgh for about 2 years, and oh my God, and being a Philly Flyers fan was super hard in that area. But you're right. It's and once again, here's the thing. You guys know I love this game, but if a bad game happens or a good game happens, my thought at the end of the day is I'm going to go to sleep and wake up tomorrow, and my life ain't going to be a goddamn different thing at all.
If a hockey game,
it's a game.
Yeah, if a hockey game gets me so pissed off that it completely alters my mood, then that's not.
You're following it for the wrong reasons.
I'm watching it and I'm doing everything wrong.
Yep, absolutely, and I will stand behind that.
And
for
that's
sure.
what I'm talking about. That guy, he blames the referees. Even though like a lot of the time, like our penalties are legit. Like last night, I was mad. I was mad.
But you were mad because who was taking penalties?
I was mad that we were taking penalties because they were dumb penalties. They were avoidable, and I get it. Emotions got a little high, got a little rambunctious. Yeah, and it was pretty upsetting.
Yeah,
but I'm happy that guy wasn't there last night because I'm sure it would have been the ref's fault.
So on that note,
we're gonna wrap things up.
You kind of talked about what's going on at the beginning there.
We had an author signing last night. Things were pretty cool. Coming up on for those local RadCon.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make the Saturday Chiefs game, the 16th.
The 16th, okay.
Because I'll be neck deep in nerddom.
Sure. Understandable. You will be there on March 9th, though. So.
I will be there. Probably not with bells on. Look for the Judge Dredd jersey.
Yeah, there you go. Back towards the back of the parking lot. Smell the burgers grilling out there, and come hang out with us. March 9th, Buried Puck Threads, first biannual, quad. I don't know, whatever. But we're just going to get together and hang out. And if it's just us three, it's just us three. But we're really hoping some more people will come hang. Hell, who are we playing that night? Vancouver. If there's Vancouver fans in the area, come hang out, man.
Dude.
Yeah, I don't care who you root for. Just come and hang, man. We're going to have some sauce hockey out there.
We're all hockey fans.
We'll probably have some cornhole going on. Just going to have a good time and get ready
and
to go.
And by that, he means a game where you throw beanbags.
Yes, I'm glad you made that clear. So, but we're excited. We really are. Kyle, anything you want to throw out there right now?
Carter Hart for the Calder.
Oh, I can't believe we didn't. We'll talk more Carter Hart next week because I'm sure he'll add about 3 or 4 more wins to his streak right now.
I was like, we missed that, but
that kid's and I'm glad I was wrong about him. So God bless you, Carter Hart.
That is awesome.
Let's bring it on home, buddy.
So, anything? Well, real quick, is there anything from Barry Puck coming along?
Still trucking away at some background stuff right now. We are going to be doing a thing with a local beard oil company here soon that we're going to do some back and forth. He's got a good product, so you'll see more probably in the next week and a half on that. If you want to check them out before, it's Viking Drool Beard Oil.
Viking Drool
Beard Oil. I met him few weeks ago at some like home and garden show or something I went to. I don't remember what it was.
Absolutely where I would expect to find Viking Drool.
Well, it's funny because
home and garden show.
I'm walking with the wife through, and he made contact with me about a mile away, and he kept watching me, and I walked over. I'm like, I bet you've been waiting to get your paws on me, haven't you? And he's like, yeah, I noticed you from across the room, with the beard and everything. He's a really nice guy. His granddaughter plays hockey.
Dope. Nice.
And all that stuff. So that will be coming soon, so keep an eye out for that.
Dope. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us here at Cascadia Hockey Podcast, brought to you by Buried Puck Threads. For Kyle House, Aaron Piper, my name is Corey Gaston. We shall return next week. Until then, Ferda!